CAF Awards 2024 have come and gone, and you'll have a select few that will be dissatisfied and those who will go home celebrating. I mean, we all have our favorites. We all have those who we would have wanted to win. But if that does not happen, it doesn't mean that we must have the attitude and the mentality of the Moroccan who bombed out of that auditorium after the biggest award of the night was announced. Obviously, it means that their own did not win that award, and how they demonstrated just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. We obviously have different cultures, in Africa, and probably that means different thing in their culture, but it's not a beautiful or a good picture for outsiders. I do go by the name of Oscar, Decisive Football, where I engage and discuss on anything to do with football from Africa to the world and from the world to Africa. Well, on this episode, a reaction to CAF Awards. I mean, guys, it's just awards. And we'll always have different opinions when it comes to awards. I mean, to this day, there are people still arguing about who should have, would have, could have won Ballon d'Or awards in the past years. I mean, the debates still continue as to how that in Iniesta, Xavi don't have a Ballon d'Or, and Messi and Ronaldo have accumulated so much of them. There are years where one of them did not deserve to win the award, but their PR and whoever is voting probably went in that direction to vote for one of those two. It's just awards, and the debate will be left amongst us, but whoever wins. But obviously, it's something that we also need to talk about, even in our ceremony as Africans, where we are awarding all the players who've done well, and I think it's a good time to also congratulate everyone that was nominated in all the categories, and obviously the eventual winners. Congratulations to all of you. It will be unfair of me to comment on women's football and the eventual winners in their category, because I don't follow women's football as much. But there are awards in the side of men that I think, and I also think it's really fair for me to say, in these categories, I think those winners were stand out, and I don't think there was any complainers or any murmuring as to why the eventual winners actually won the awards. Number one, the coach of the year. It eventually went to MS Faye, the Ivorian, the Elephants coach. I mean, what he did was unexpected. After the Federation of Cote d'Ivoire had fired the coach that started the tournament in Ivory Coast, him taking over, I mean, we were expecting the worst. But for Mr. Faye to eventually take the Elephants and eventually winning the tournament, I think it was just up there. And I don't think the people that he was nominated with would complain. I think that is a Hugo Bruce, and I think the Democratic Republic of Congo coach was among those final three nominees. I don't think they would complain. He is a deserved winner. Number two, Club of the Year, which eventually went to Al Ahly. Al Ahly has been doing well year in and year out, and anyone who says they were not supposed to win this award, I think that person does not follow African football. Maybe they think that Al Ahly, the awards are just falling from the sky and falls in Cairo. Those two awards, I think they are deserved winners. Now let's go to some of the another one that I think, well, you need to follow, inter-club football in Africa for you to understand some of the other awards. If you don't, you're still fixated following English Premier League, Serie A, Bundesliga, League One, Saudi, English Premier League, then you won't understand why there's a hoo-ha on some of the players that were nominated. The Inter-Club Player of the Year. The final 3 nominees were Al Shahad, my favorite player, playing for Al Ahly, the Egyptian Giants, and Ahmed Zizou, who played for Zamalek. He did extremely well in that run in CAF Confederations Cup, Zamalek eventually winning the cup. He was instrumental in that run. I think scored about 4 goals. He is also a playmaker for Zamalek. And the last one on the list was William, that is Ronwen, playing for Mamelodi Sundowns, a goalkeeper that is eventual winner. And this one was Ronwen Williams, who was actually also the number 9 best goalkeeper on earth in the recent Ballon d'Or awards that were held. I don't know if it's France or is it Swiss, but I don't think anyone else will complain about this award yet again, because Williams has had an excellent and incredible year. Now let's go to the goalkeeper of the year. The Nigerians, my Niger brothers, they are shouting why their own was not nominated in this category. Obviously, if a Ronwen Williams is a player of the year and was also part of the nominees or goalkeeper of the year in Ballon d'Or, the international awards, it's expected that he will be part of the goalkeepers of the year again in CAF, in the CAF Awards. So it was him and the Cameroonian, the Manchester United, Andre Onana was also part of the nominees. He has been almost like a savior for a Man U. Things could have been worse for a Man U, but not to say Man U has won anything special or he has taken them on any special. It's just that individually he has done extremely well. Yes, along the journey there's been a lot of mistakes for a Man U, but he has not done extremely well for a Cameroon. And then for Fana, that led an Ivorian team winning that African Nations Cup in their home country earlier this year. Now, the Nigerians wanted, they were asking as to why Stanley Nobali was not nominated in this category. Stanley Nobali did well for the Super Eagles team that eventually got to the finals, eventually losing to Ivory Coast, but Stanley Nobali plays for a Chippa United in South Africa. Chippa United, they don't do that well. And some people don't even recognize Stanley Nobala when he's playing for Chippa United, because what he does for a Super Eagles team is different from how he is when he's playing for Chippa United. And this is not to say he's a bad goalkeeper, but he's decent but not great as to why he was not eventually part of the 3 nominated goalkeepers. And the eventual winner went to a Williams. Let me just say this about Williams and then Andre Onana. In modern football, these are some of the similarities they have. In modern football, a good defender must be a good midfielder, able to know where to pass, how to pass. You know, a good defender must be, a good goalkeeper must be a good sweeper, a good defender, adding numbers to the defenders, able to pass. And this is some of the elements that you see with Onana and Ronwen Williams. Eventually, at the end of the day, the primary function of a goalkeeper is to ensure that no goal goes past him into the goals. And they do that extremely well as well. But because of modern football, they need to adapt to these other things, which they have done extremely well. This is specifically on Onana and Ronwen Williams. They play an instrumental part in the build-up of a Manchester United and the Bafana and your Mamelodi Sundowns. Anyone who follows African football, they know how Mamelodi Sundowns play, and Ronwen Williams is instrumental in that. And eventual winner obviously was Ronwen Williams. No shock in that. Now, let us go to, before I get to the final one, which is the biggest award of the night, the player of the year. Before I get to that, let's just discuss the team of the year. 11 players voted into it, and what was surprising is that Williams beat Andre Onana in winning the goalkeeper of the year. Williams is also the Interclub player of the year, but he does not make it in the team of the year. I don't know what is the logic, I don't know what is the reasoning, I don't know how the voting works with this, but in the team of the year, the goalkeeper of the year did not make it in the team of the year. Onana takes the #1 spot in that. Now in the team of the year, they only have 3 defenders, and those defenders are Hakimi, who is also Ashram Hakimi, plays for PSG, plays for Morocco. He is also was part of the nominees in the player of the year. The awards, I must also say, they were held in Morocco, hence the bombing out of Moroccans when Hakimi eventually did not win. I'll tell you now who won the player of the award. So in this team of the year, they've got 3 defenders. They've got Hakimi, Moroccan, Koulibaly of Senegal, playing for Al Hilal in Al Hilal. Yes, it's Al Hilal in Saudi Arabia, and you have the Democratic Republic of Congo defender in Bamba. Those are the 3 defenders. Now, yet again, my Nigerian brothers, they are asking, and fairly so, they are asking, how is it that William Troost Ekong did not make it to in this team of the year? I mean, I think William Troost Ekong was the player of the tournament, if I'm not mistaken, in Ivory Coast. I mean, they were runners up to Ivory Coast. But Troost Ekong, at that heart of the Super Eagles, he was the wall of Jericho. Nothing was going past him, and then he was also relied upon when they had a penalty. He was a very good penalty taker. How is it that Koulibaly is ahead of a William Troost Ekong? I really questioning this one as well. It's almost like people, or these voters, they vote for a name more than they vote for the performance of the individual in that current year, because there are some people who honestly don't deserve to be in the team of the year. We're not saying Koulibaly is bad. Yes, Koulibaly won the Saudi Professional League. I'm not sure who are the current champions in the Asian Champions League, and but Troost Ekong did extremely well for the Super Eagles in the most important tournament in Africa, and he's also doing well for the team he's playing for. It's not the biggest team in Saudi, he's also playing in Saudi Arabia. And as I move to the midfield, so how this team of the year is set up looks like it is a 3-4-3 system, and then they have Besuma of Tottenham, they have Amrabat of Man U, they have Kessie and Ivorian, I think, who also plays in Saudi Arabia, and they have Mohamed Kudus, who Ghanaian, playing for West Ham. He's been doing extremely well for West Ham, but it's a different story when it comes to playing for the Black Stars of Ghana. It's absolutely the opposite. So hence again, I'm saying some of the players that are here, it's just names. It's not that they are doing extremely well for their nations or even for their teams. The front 3 includes Mohamed Salah, who's doing extremely well for a Liverpool, and they've qualified again for 2025 AFCON, but their Nations Cup in Ivory Coast was very, very, very poor. And then Ademola Lookman, who has been excellent. This has been his year by far. And yeah, that's the team of the year. Last but not least, the biggest award of the night was the player of the year. And the nominees are, it was Simon Adingra, an exciting player, an Ivorian playing for Brighton. Ademola Lookman, just spoke about him. With Guirassy, who, if you watch some of my videos earlier this year, top 8 players to look out for in the tournament going into Ivory Coast. He was one of the players I profiled, and at the time he was playing for Stuttgart. He was incredible for Stuttgart. But yet again, when he plays for Guinea, it's a different story. He's had a decent year playing for his team in Bundesliga, and he's one of the nominees, 4th nominee, and it was a given that was going to be nominated. Ronwen Williams, the goalkeeper from Mamelodi Sundowns, and Bafana. And the Moroccan, the last one on the list was Achraf Hakimi, the Moroccan playing for PSG in France. The eventual winner went to Ademola Lookman, and I must say, he is a deserved winner. I have no complaints. The Moroccans who were somersaulting, rolling on the floor, throwing their toys. I mean, if that is the attitude of North Africans, and I think it's just bad. It is just bad. How can a Hakimi win this award after the great exploits of a Lookman who had an incredible year? Took the Super Eagles to the finals, as opposed to Ashrim, whose team was knocked out in the last 16 by Bafana. And then you had a Lookman who took Atalanta to play against a Bayer Leverkusen that was red hot. Xavi Alonso's Bayer Leverkusen in the Europa Cup final. This same Lookman scored a hat-trick in that final against that red-hot Bayer Leverkusen led by Xavi Alonso. Yes, I know that the Hakimi, did they win the PSG? I'm not sure. I think if they did, they did. But it is nothing close to what the Lookman has been doing this year. It didn't just end there with them winning the Europa. But if you follow the Serie A, Lookman has been dishing out some stellar performances week in and week out. So the Moroccans, they must just remain humble. They must be humble. I mean, another year is coming. You'll be hosting the tournament, and we will wait and see if your players will rise to the occasions. I wonder what's going to happen if you get knocked out by another smaller nations. I just don't like that stinking attitude of the North Africans. And this is not to say all North Africans are this way, but how they act in tournaments, in CAF Champions League game, CAF Confederations Cup game, it's just they carry this attitude of entitlement. And I'm sorry if I sound like I'm venting, but if I don't say it, maybe someone else will not say it in their channel. Yes, I do go by the name of Oscar Since the Football. If you're seeing this space and this content for the very first time, really appreciate it if you join the channel. Do comment on the section below. You support the channel by liking, by commenting, by sharing, by supporting, watching the ads, and also contributing something by clicking on that $sign. That $sign on the icons below this. It's not just there for decoration, but it's for you to use it. You can donate, I think, from 20 Rand, which is like $1, 20 Rands until you're, I think, 10,000 Rands. You'll do the math, whichever country you are watching from. Let me end it there by declaring, may my God bless you all.